Have you ever tried baking your meatballs, or maybe you never heard of that? Maybe you've never even made meatballs before. Well, first off, super easy, super delicious, and this method of baking is amazing, and I'm so excited to share this with you. Ciao and benvenuto. My name is Liz with Simple Italian Cooking, and I've got an amazing recipe. So excited. I'm going to show you how to make an amazing batch of meatballs just like this that is mess-free, no greasy splattering, no frying, all baked, and I've got lots of tips to take it even to the next level. Ready to get started? Andiamo. For the ingredients, 1 pound of ground beef, I'm using 85/15, 1 cup of Romano cheese or Parm if that's all you've got, about a tablespoon or so of the extra virgin olive oil and some Himalayan salt, some cracked black pepper, about 1/8 of a teaspoon each, 1 cup of breadcrumbs, and 1 egg. For the herbs, I'm using curly parsley and some fresh basil, just about a small handful of each. So if you only have dried, I would use maybe 2 teaspoons of parsley and basil. But if you have fresh, that's great. And 1 clove of garlic. Okay, so in a large bowl, I go ahead and crack the egg. And as a general rule of thumb, it's 1 egg per 1 pound of beef. That's just something good to go by. But I like to mix it first, beat the egg first before adding in the ground beef. So go ahead and add the ground beef. And add in the chopped garlic, which you can also use a mincer or just try and chop it really fine. And then I'm going to add some salt and cracked black pepper. Now I'm just adding it in. I gave you measurements just to go by, but you can adjust. It's a very flexible recipe. So I just kind of add a few dashes. Next I add the extra virgin olive oil. Really important to have that olive oil inside the meatball. It helps with the flavor. You can also brush extra olive oil on the outside of the meatball before you bake them. So in regards to the cheese, I use Romano. You can use Parmesan as well. I am just a Romano fanatic. So next I add in my homemade breadcrumbs. Now you can use store-bought, but I like to use homemade, and if you're not sure how to do that, simply take some fresh pieces of bread, put them through a blender, and then you want to toast them until they are really all dry, not burnt, but golden brown and really dry. What happens is if you just do the breadcrumbs without making sure they're dry, they're gonna absorb too much moisture and it can cause the meatball to become really dense and even gummy. So, and since this meat is already 85/15, I don't need a lot of that moisture in there beyond what's already there. If it was a really lean meat, then yes, go ahead and just use the straight breadcrumbs without toasting. So next we're gonna go ahead and add in the chopped fresh herbs. So that would be the basil and the parsley. And now I'm using, I like to use gloves when I do this. I don't like touching raw meat, and it just makes cleanup so much easier. But I just go ahead and mix everything together. You want to make sure that everything is really well mixed in, so there's no like solid clumps of just one ingredient in one place and not elsewhere. So just go ahead until you have a nice ball like this. Next, you'll want to go ahead and form about, meatballs that are about 2 inches in size, and put it in an ungreased baking dish. Now, here's a tip for you to keep them nice and evenly sized. You can use like a medium-sized cookie scooper, and that works great. You can also just use your hands if you want. But this way, they are all nice and uniform in size, so they should cook nice and evenly. So now I'm going to go ahead and just put them in my Breville oven at 350 for about 25 minutes, 25 or 30 minutes. You can also do this in just a regular oven. And here they are. After 30 minutes, they look and smell delicious. Now, how easy was that? Okay, so I've already taken the meatballs out of the pan and I put them on a plate with a paper towel because I wanted to absorb that excess grease that I really just don't need. Now, I'm going to tell you a really important tip to take these even to the next level, but let's go ahead and do the taste test first. These smell absolutely delicious. So let's just go ahead, cut into it. The inside looks really nice. I can see the basil, the fresh basil and parsley throughout. I can taste the garlic. It's not over garlicky. And the herbs comes through. Everything blended really, really well. So I'm really happy with these, especially being baked. Now, the tip that I wanted to tell you is that I cooked these all the way through. So they are done, they are cooked, they are ready to serve. But what I'm probably going to do is actually take some of these and put them in some sauce that I'm going to make. But if I hadn't been doing this video, because I really wanted to show you how to make just the meatballs. If you're making sauce at the same time, what you want to do is cook the meatballs for half the time, okay? So instead of 30 minutes, do it like for 15, okay? Then you take the meatballs and you put them in your really hot sauce, okay? You want that sauce to be really hot. Add them in and you're just gonna let it cook for a few hours or however long you're cooking it. But you want at least for an hour because you want those meatballs to really absorb that sauce. It's gonna make these meatballs even more tender and it's gonna flavor your sauce even more. So I didn't do it with this way because I just wanted to focus on the meatballs themselves, which are absolutely delicious. We're gonna be eating them tonight. Don't forget, so also, here's another tip. Tip number 2 is you can easily multiply this recipe just by doubling. So if you want to make more, make a double batch, just double all the ingredients, super easy. It's not like baking where you have to be extra careful and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be putting these in the freezer, some of these in the freezer. I'm just going to put them in a glass container or maybe a freezer bag, date it, and I'm gonna put it away so that when we want them, we can just pull a few out at a time. Or when you're really just in the mood for some meatballs. So let me know in the comments below how you like your meatballs. Are you a person who prefers frying them in a pan or baking them or doing frying in a pan and then baking them? I've seen it done all different types of ways and I've done it different types of ways too. I hope you found this video helpful. Give it a like, subscribe, and make sure to hit that notification button. Thank you so much for watching. Grazie e ciao.